All right, so it's 7 o'clock. I'm going to go ahead and call this meeting of the Environmental Commission to order. We're going to go ahead. We're going to start with the roll call. I'm just going to have you go down and announce that you're present. We'll start with you, Sue.
Sue Metzel, present.
Gina Hutter, present.
Michael Walton, present.
Jonah Pichette, present.
Virginia Schmidt, present.
Jonathan Fahey, present.
John MacArthur, present.
Patrick Jeffers, present.
Karen Labby, present.
Awesome, thank you, guys. Next on the agenda, we have to approve the minutes from May 7th. Were there any changes that need to be made? Seeing none, I'd make a motion that we approve the meeting minutes from May 7th, 2024. Seconded by John. All those in favor of approving, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please say nay. And the meeting minutes have been approved. I don't think we have any presentations this evening. There's nobody in the audience to give us audience participation. So we next move on to commissioners' reports. We can go ahead and, first thing I want to say welcome back. It's felt so long since we have been together, and I very much miss these meetings. It's one of the things I look forward to is seeing you guys all. So for commissioner reports, I don't imagine we're going to have much. We haven't met in a couple months, but we'll start down there with Sue. We'll keep that sort of same order going.
Okay, well, actually, I did do a little research. I thought maybe so we could talk a little bit about, I don't know if anybody's ever looked at the United Nations 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, but it's pretty interesting. It talks about all the different goals that they're trying to achieve in the next, 6 years. And a lot of them are individual and a lot of them are city and, government initiatives. I thought this was an interesting statistic. The world cities occupy just 3% of the Earth's land, but account for 60 to 80% of energy consumption and 75% of carbon emissions. So there's definitely a problem. It's here now, but it's only going to get worse. We all know that, I'm sure. What I was thinking we could do, I know as an individual we can all do our things. In fact, I printed these off, and you could just share them around. They're just simple things that we already know, but perhaps we could remind ourselves to do them. And as far as individual goals, I think we need some collective power too. Not just our commission, but the city, the public, the schools. In fact, the subjects that would go along with, if you had a child in grades 5 to 8, and they were interested in anthropology, sociology, biology, health, conservation, social studies, and civics, those would all be great topics if they were interested in helping to save the environment, into actually getting into a job doing that. So individually, I thought maybe we could start putting up some posters. I'm not artistic, but some of us must be. And I thought maybe we could do just little pictures and then little sayings like cycling is cool, walking is fun, light your way with LED. Anybody can think of these. Enjoy your leftovers. I have cook at home. Anyway, I just thought perhaps we could try to get some things out and about on bulletin boards in different buildings, the library, and different places that people might work. Because I noticed when I sit at the stoplight how they painted those, what do you call those things?
Utility boxes?
Yes. And I think that we can't take those over, obviously, but I think we could get some more publicity going of how we're trying to get the word out more and more, instead of us just discussing it in our little circle. Okay, that was my report.
Awesome. Thank you, Sue. And so I like how you mentioned some goals. During Pat's report, we'll actually talk about, and we'll kind of, he's going to deliver Rebecca Ziegler's report, and we'll discuss some commission goals, short-term, long-term. So I'm glad that you mentioned that now, and we'll
Okay,
be able to
good.
bring those up kind of later on as well.
Okay, good. I did have one more thing that maybe you were going to talk about. Were you going to talk about the Electronics Recycling Day?
You can go ahead and take that away, Sue.
Saturday, September 28th, from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. It's going to be at the library. Summit E-Waste will be there, and you can bring in anything, I mean, literally anything, like vacuum cleaner, anything that plugs in, or anything that uses batteries, in addition to the typical things that you might think of, TVs, monitors, computers, cell phones, and all that. So, okay, so that was my other reminder. I'm done.
Awesome. Thank you.
I don't have a new information. I really love the working with the library idea, though. I think that's neat.
Awesome. Thank you, Gina. Michael?
I have no report, but I did make a note about the e-waste thing. That's actually a great service because with my job, we're looking at I've had to go through several places now for recycling some e-waste because we're doing a laptop refresh project, and it's actually really difficult to find places now that will take computer monitors.
Oh, wow.
So the fact that they'll take them here and take them for free, that's a great bonus. I've probably got a few that I'm going to drop off there myself. So.
Well, very cool. Virginia?
Yes, I kind of wanted to piggyback on what Sue was talking about. Thought it would be good if we can develop some collateral or infographics or something, maybe even working with the high school kids graphics department, and utilize the info that we got from our recycling center tour and the wastewater tour. So to get, like Nate and, was it Vince, I think, that gave us the tour. I mean, everything was so fast and we were fascinated by looking at everything, but to get a few more specifics, like Nate, don't throw grease down the drain, things that, similar to what you said, things that we know, but just kind of clarify and get the word out. The other thing I wanted to mention is I'm part of a group that is forming in Twinsburg called the Twinsburg Native Habitat Association, and we are going to be working on like conserving and protecting like natural areas, as well as maybe introducing some wildflower meadows into areas that are just grass now. Benefit is that the place doesn't need to mow, and they're beautiful and attract pollinators and create biodiversity. So we're just getting started. We have our EIN and everything, but more to come on that.
Very cool. Did you have anything else? No? Fantastic. Shantanu, it is all you.
Okay, thank you. So I just wanted to talk about, end of summer coming, so HHW events, household hazardous events start coming to an end. So, I know we already talked about the e-waste, and, Summit City Reworks is, they're about ending up. They got 4 more events left. They're Thursdays from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. There's no e-waste or no latex there, but they take e-cigarettes and vapes, fire extinguishers, propane less than, and then rest of the other HHW materials. There's one also on Saturday the 14th. So Summit City Reworks is September 5th, 12th, 19th, and then end is on the last event is on September 26th. Then in Chagrin Falls, it's on Saturday, September 14th. It's a 4-hour event from 8 to 12. They do take tires along with the regular HHW waste, but you got to take the tires off the rims. So that's over on Solon Road. And the last one, this is a little bit further away, Shaker Heights. They do have 2 long HHW events, 2-day events, Saturday and Sunday, September 7th and September 8th. And September 14th and September 15th, the hours are 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. So it's on Chagrin Boulevard up there at the service center. So those are the events I wanted to talk about, just to make sure, if people have stuff to drop off, otherwise they're gonna hold on, so.
Is the Chagrin Falls open to anyone?
I just, it seemed like it, but yes.
All right, thank you, Shantanu. John?
Nothing other than it's good to be back and see everyone again.
All right, fantastic. This is going to be my shortest report I think I've ever given. I just wanted to say I'm entirely proud of all of us as a commission. Over the summer, we were invited to a couple different events, informally, of course, because obviously we weren't meeting, but we had the opportunity to go to Christ the King Lutheran Church and partake in the Pollinator Garden event, simply to just say hi, we are here, we're a commission. And I threw that, invite out to anybody who could make it. It obviously wasn't a requirement, we weren't in session, but the fact that some of you guys, I know Virginia was there, that you guys were able to say, I could make it to this event, I could be there, I could really, be a part of the community, that's beyond fantastic. I couldn't stay the whole event, but I talked with Bob Coleman, the man who coordinated that all, and he was very pleased with the turnout and very excited that we were there. Our wastewater treatment plant tour, there's not a lot of commissions that are meeting during their off time to go tour a city facility, let alone the wastewater treatment plant. And the fact that we had so many of us there, I find that incredible. We are very dedicated to what we do, and I'm very proud to serve on this commission with all of you. Along with Councilman Bonacci's Ward 1 Resource Day, again, there was that kind of that casual invite. If you were able to make it and you wanted to help pass out information about the Environmental Commission, you're more than welcome to. And that was open to the public on behalf of Councilman Bonacci as one of his events. And I know Virginia had made an appearance, and I believe somebody else might have made an appearance there, and I'm just blanking on the name right now. But it was fantastic to see us all engaged throughout the summer where we could be, right? Because there's not that expectation. And I very much appreciate it. I'm very proud to work with all of you guys. And that's how I wanted to come back here. So thank you, and it's a pleasure to serve, and excited to keep on doing this. And that's all I have for my report. Councilwoman Labby, council report, you have anything for us?
I don't have anything for you, but I was able to, I believe part of you attended the recycle, the $35 million plant in Oakwood for waste management, that recycle plant. I was able to go in August, and it was fantastic. So has everybody been to that has a tour on that? I mean, if you can get a tour, Vince Crawford was the person who gave Shannon and I a tour, and it was just wonderful. I mean, it really gives you a new appreciation for recycling, and I know a lot of people casually say, well, it all goes to the same place, I don't want to recycle, and that is so untrue. I mean, their efforts and what they're doing to turn the waste they receive into a final product is phenomenal. So I would encourage anyone to get there if they can.
Awesome.
And as far as the city goes, there are citywide goals for
Hey guys, I'm sorry.
Sue, for sustainability and everything.
You have that? Yeah.
There are citywide
Okay, good.
goals. Mhm.
There was something, I'm trying to find it, but I can't right now, but there was something else. The library is providing vests and grabbers and all this kind of safety equipment to go out, and I can't find the date. I think you go on your own.
I think you just sign up,
You sign
sign
up.
out the kit.
Sign out the kit, so we should probably try and help them publicize that that's available, especially with maybe some youth for community service hours and things. They can go and pick up trash along the freeway, wherever. And the library is going to facilitate that, so I think we want to mention that too.
So that is part of the library's library of things, I believe they call it. And they lend out not only the litter pickup kit,
Right,
but
right.
they lend out, everything. They rent out, Bluetooth players, speakers, mobile hotspots you could rent out for a week. we have a fantastic library, and so I'm really glad you brought that up. I had the pleasure of discussing and having conversation with Laura about the director of the library here in Twinsburg, some of the things they're doing, and you know, it's fantastic how really involved they are in our community and how they offer, you know, that library of things to help benefit the community. But that is, anybody could go with library cards, sign out those items, borrow them, use them to pick up litter in their streets and cities. So
Right.
it was a fantastic mention right there.
Okay.
Anything else, Councilwoman?
Further.
All right. Pat, we are going to pass it over to you.
Okay, thank you. So Rebecca had to apologize that she wasn't able to make it here tonight. She had something come up with her family. I believe her husband had to be on call for work tonight, so she wasn't able to make it. But she asked that I speak to you guys about a couple of the things that she wanted to bring up to the commission. The commission is officially under the Economic Development Department, and so she had hoped to get here and introduce herself, but maybe she'll get here one of these other meetings. One of the things that she wanted to bring up was commission goals. She would just wanted to bring it to your attention, to maybe come up with some short-term, some long-term goals that you could set and try to work towards as you progress throughout the year. Not that you guys aren't already accomplishing a lot of wonderful things here for the city, but she was just hoping to get some things done in writing to help track what all the commissions are doing and help publicize all the great work that you guys are doing. Additional topics you wanted to discuss was sustainability, kind of going along with what Susan and Karen were bringing up here with sustainability. The city does have a sustainability commission, or team that was put together about a year and a half, 2 years ago, I believe, and it's made up of representatives from each department and try and come up with sustainability goals for each department. So for example, in engineering, one of the things that we had looked at was using more recycled materials in construction projects, from recycled concrete, asphalt grindings, that kind of stuff, to use more recycled products in our construction projects that we've incorporated into our specs. And each of the departments came up with things. A lot of the aluminum can recycling stations that you might see around the city, where the fire department's collecting aluminum cans for burned children. We've got a bunch of the stations set up around the city here that people have been using. So if you're interested, I could try and get there was a spreadsheet going around of all the goals the different departments had. That might be something that you guys would be interested in seeing what the city's doing, and maybe seeing if there's anything that you guys wanted to piggyback on or help out in some of the efforts. The other thing that she wanted to bring up was the website and social media accounts. I believe Jonah was telling me that he saw I believe it was the Planning Commission website? Or Jedi Commission website. So they're updating a lot of the commission websites and trying to make them all have a similar format, trying to get updated information on them. So if you guys wanted to check out, that would be a good commission website that you could see as an example of something that's already out there, and see if there's any content that you guys were hoping to have on that, any links to any kind of information that you want to put out there for residents. Certainly we'll try and get any name updates that need done on that. That's something that Shannon will put together. But if there's any content stuff that you guys were hoping to see on there, please think about it, and you can get back to myself or Rebecca. Probably myself would probably be the easiest for you, and I can coordinate that to get that on the website for you guys. The other issue was social media. Due to record request requirements that the city is trying to get a good handle on. Anything that the city puts out there, or even on social media, Facebook posts, that kind of stuff, all has to be accounted for, and a record kept of it, even comments that people make on posts, and even posts that are put up there and deleted. The city has to have a good records management system for all that. So they're trying to coordinate, to consolidate all of the social media accounts that the city has so that there's less of them to have to try and maintain all these records for. So I know Environmental Commission has a Facebook page that they've been sharing information on. So that's one of the sites that they're going to try and consolidate to the main city Facebook page. Anything that you guys still want to share would still be able to be shared. If you wanted to, probably be easiest to go directly to the person that's handling the Facebook page as opposed to through me. I'll get you guys that contact. I'm not sure if that's going through Mark or the new marketing coordinator that we hired. So I'll make sure to get you guys the contact for that. And I'll try and pass along it. I don't have any solid information in terms of the timing of when they're looking to consolidate these accounts, but I'll certainly coordinate with you guys as this process moves along. But kind of think about, as you're thinking about your short-term goals, your long-term goals, you can kind of think about the stuff that you want to share, the stuff that you've been sharing, and we'll put a process in place to have that shared on the city social media feeds to get out there.
The Facebook page wasn't set up as part of the city.
Okay.
It was just Twinsburg Environmental, and I'm an admin, and you're an admin, and I think Chuck. So are you saying, like, from this point forward, maybe we shouldn't post anything on that?
I will get some more information on that. I wasn't given any information in terms of the timing. I don't know if that's something that they're trying to do immediately. I think it's kind of a, as they move down the road here process. And if you feel like you guys want to keep that account, I could always discuss it with I think Shannon's been handling the records management stuff. If that's able to be considered a non-city account, that you guys are, okay. So we'll probably consolidate that into.
Talked about it in council.
Okay.
I mean, you were there, Jonah, but we did, and because of the recent records request, and it's so big that I mean, they had to go through cases of things down in the basement for it's been months to get this information. So this is why everything now has to come through a central place. So we do have a handle on that. So.
And I could add some clarity to
Okay.
posting and all of that. Mark Gutowski, he runs, from my understanding, he runs most of the social media. He coordinates all of the fancy screens in here. He does all of the tech stuff. I don't know his official title. I just know he's the go-to guy with head of IT. That makes a lot of sense right there. But he reached out asking for admin access on our page. And so he was granted admin access so he could start moving over the records of the Environmental Commission Facebook page to an archival database of sorts that will keep them all there for city record retention purposes. From my understanding, based on what I gleaned from the conversation, it was via email, but he didn't say we have to stop posting. He didn't say at this time we have to cut it all off. What it made it sound like is that, there will come a day where, we will have to stop, but it doesn't sound like that is today.
Yeah,
that was
I believe
my
that's
understanding.
I believe that's the case too. So it sounds like from what you're saying that he's got the process set up to be able to archive those records and keep good records of them. But as the city is trying to consolidate these pages so there aren't so many of them out there that they're trying to keep tabs on, I guess eventually here they're going to move those to a single city page.
Does it
And-
make sense just to eliminate that page?
Well, we can't delete it as it is a city record. You can't
Well, but
erase.
It wasn't set up that way, is what I'm saying.
But we have, the way we've operated and the way it has been utilized, it essentially has folded itself under the Environmental Commission fold. We advertised, events for the Environmental Commission. We advertised, the things we were doing. It became a part of this commission, even if it wasn't intentionally set up that way. That's what it has grown into. It advertised our Earth Day event, our Shred Day event. It has become that city record for our commission.
Okay, well, since Mark is an admin and you are an admin now, can you take me off?
I
As
can,
an
yes,
admin? Okay.
absolutely.
Because I don't want to cross any lines or anything, and just feel more comfortable to
Absolutely.
not do that. And I can share, though, if I'm part of that group, then, like, say, Twinsburg Garden Club, I could share that information. Does that still fall under the city records?
So since it's a Facebook page that's being maintained by the Environmental Commission, which is a city organization, it's considered part of the city page. You can share you guys can share anything you want on it. You can still be posting stuff on it. Sounds like Mark's working to archive all the records of those so that a record is being kept of everything that's being put on there. So feel free to continue publicizing your events, your garden club events, all that kind of stuff on there. And as we move forward to consolidating these, I will definitely let you guys know if there comes a time that we need to stop using that page and funnel the information through Mark to be shared on the official city page.
Okay. I appreciate it, Pat. I know that was a lot, and I know you weren't expecting to do that, so I appreciate you giving those updates on behalf of Rebecca.
Just one more comment. Can you tell me the date of that council meeting where that was discussed? Or was it in June or
Oh, just the other day,
just
last Tuesday.
the most recent one?
Yeah,
Okay.
it wasn't a lengthy discussion, and we
Okay.
just brought it up. And it could have been in caucus, do you remember, Jonah?
I do not remember. I'm so sorry.
No, that's okay, I don't remember either.
All right. So I know that was sort of a lot, there was a lot of information at once, but I wanted to make sure we got that. So we could start thinking of short-term, long-term goals. We have an understanding that the city does have its own sustainability goals for various departments, and they're striving towards those as well. And so we could get the update on, the Environmental Commission website or webpage on the city's website and the social media movement. Did we have any questions on any of those? Anything else?
Well, if we want something posted, are we supposed to go through you and let you post it? Because I sent you something, did you get it, to post
When did you send it to me?
a couple days ago?
I could double check. I do not think I received anything.
Oh, okay, I'm trying to remember. It might have been the thing from the library about, the collecting the garbage and things. It might have just been that, but what I wanted you to do is post it on our site. And so, is that the way we should do it, is send stuff to you to put on there?
For right now, on our Environmental Commission
Yes.
page, if that's what we want to post on, yes, you could send it to me.
Okay,
Virginia is being removed as an admin of that, so yeah, send it to me, and I can make sure that gets posted.
okay.
And my email is my first and last name at gmail.com, and I don't care that that's a public record, so it's my first and last name at gmail.com.
Okay.
Okay? Do we have any other questions on that? Okay. And so I think we start thinking of our short-term, long-term goals. Next meeting, we may become prepared to have that conversation as to what are our short-term goals? What are those long-term goals that we have as a commission? We do a lot. We are a very active commission. And so how do we solidify what's a short-term goal, what's a long-term goal, to keep moving forward and keep being this active commission that we are? Okay, and I say next meeting, that's what we really plan on nailing down and discussing. Before I sort of move us on and move towards kind of the ending part of this meeting, does anybody have anything else they wanted to add?
I do. Go ahead. You go.
Just talking about goals, kind of making them SMART, it's an acronym we use a lot. And you probably already know it, but like something specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-based. So then we could have something that is short-term, long-term. I don't know what short-term is here. Is it 6 months? Is it a season? Is it a year? I think we have to like sort of define that maybe a little, at least for me. Or is it long-term, like 4 years? Is it like an election cycle? I don't know. but maybe it's so that you cycle around the season more than once. But something, a way like to formulate your goals so that they're smart, so that they're very specific, so that we can really lay out particularly what we want to achieve, and that we'll know if we do it. And I think that then it makes it very easy to prove to the community that, we're doing something, or that action is happening. Just a thought.
That's a great point.
I have one more thing.
Go for it, Sue.
So along those lines, have we ever put up any signs in anybody's yard? Have we given a Friend of the Commission award or a Good Neighbor award? Because these were some of our goals last year, and I wanted to see if we followed up on any of this.
We have not done that yet, no,
Okay.
no.
Well, how can we, what can we do to help facilitate this?
So there's a couple different things we could do. We could, as a commission, there's a couple different things. We could go through identifying who a good neighbor would be, possibly just having a conversation, defining it, if those definitions are still good from last year. When I discussed the sort of proposal of our awards, we could tweak those awards out, the definitions of those awards. And afterwards, we could then decide how we move forward. How do we go about deciding as a commission who is perhaps a good neighbor? Who is worthy of that title? And what do they get? Is it simply just a congrats, you're a good neighbor? Do we reach out and see if possibly Mayor Scafidi will be willing to print out like a certificate?
How about,
Do-
we said a wooden plaque would be hung by the individual.
Do we ask for a small, tiny budget to, maybe get things like a plaque for, awards? And so I think that is something we should, really consider. And really have planned out for discussion at our next meeting.
You know what? Actually, I just flipped this over. So in addition to Good Neighbor Award and Friend of the Commission Award, we had Student of the Future Award, and we had Good Business Award to a business. And I think we should, you actually researched that Manaway Woodworks would help us get plaques or something, and did you have this? Do you still have this?
That was my proposal from
Yes.
last year, yes.
And I have it, and I think it's all a good proposal, and we shouldn't abandon it. We can talk about if we want to abandon it, but I personally think it's something we should keep pursuing. You put a lot of work and effort into this, so,
I do think it is
Yeah.
a great idea as well.
okay.
But I think we do need to define where that fits. Is it short-term, is it long-term? Do we roll this out for next year and in a couple coming years? And so I think that's where we need to define that. Councilwoman, did you have something?
Yeah, many years ago, I was on the Beautification Commission, and that was a commission similar to this, run by the city. We had beautification award every year, and so it's essentially what you're talking about. And you need very distinct guidelines, and then you go through the process of nominations through the community. But I think with social media, it would make it a lot easier than the processes we did, which was in the bulletin, back in the day. So we did that, and then we actually gave awards, and I got an award before I was on the commission, so I still have the award. Actually, it's in my husband's name, don't know why. But it's just in his name. So, yes, and then, through the garden club, I started the thing at the garden club where we actually gave a rock with the inscription on it. So, and the person could actually put it in their garden so if you want to kind of think of something that is environmentally fun that you can connect it with, something, it doesn't have to be a plaque, something that they get notice, and just, even if it's on social media, the award come to council. I mean, I think if you make a proposal and come up with all of those, they'd be more than happy to do that. I mean, it does not take a lot of cash. You don't need a big budget for that. One of the things I know Jedi is doing, or wants to do, I should say, is get T-shirts identifying them as the Jedi Commission. So when they go to different things, say like the Forces Day with the police and the fire, and they were there, they're all wearing their T-shirts and they're identifying themselves as a group. So commissions do have a limited budget, but it goes through Human Resources. So you could speak to Tammy for that. But it's very limited, not a lot. Sorry to say.
I don't think a plaque would cost that much either, or if we win something like
They don't
that.
cost a lot, but, figure out what, I mean, when I was in the garden club, I'm like, a rock is really,
Oh, absolutely.
go in their garden. So, I mean, if you could come up with something fun with the, that's environmentally friendly or something, make it a tie-in, I think it'd be fun as far as that goes.
Absolutely. So I think next meeting
Good
we're
job
going to have
keeping
a
them
lot of
focused.
discussions over these short and long-term goals.
Reinvent the wheel.
Keep in mind that they're smart, they have to be that specific, measurable, achievable, relevant goals, okay? And so, is there anything else, any last-minute miscellaneous discussion?
I just want, go ahead.
Well, I was thinking, can we get a copy of that, Sue?
I could send that back out to everybody, 'cause I'll make sure the councilman has it.
The Sustainability Commission, is there a statement from them?
Yeah, I can certainly I'll pull the list of goals that we had put together at the last meeting that the city departments are working on and get that to you guys so that you can see if there's anything on that you wanted to piggyback on as a goal or kind of help contribute towards.
If we're already doing something like it, then maybe we redundant to mention it or even try it again.
Yeah, or along the same lines, like I could see where our goals could possibly align with some of the sustainability goals too, so,
We'll work together.
yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I just had a question, Pat, in regards to the waste management Oakwood Village facility. I had asked previously, load quality or how is it coming out of Twinsburg, or if they have a report like that or anything like that. The reason I asked for this is because I'm in this field and we have a lot of fires. And they just keep increasing because of lithium batteries. And, up till June, we have reports up to June. And, it was the worst year since, every year it just keeps getting worse and worse and worse. So, wanting to understand, they have done a great job. It's a $30 million facility. They've done such a great job that we used to, when they had their facility in Akron, we used to get their residuals for recycling. They've done such a good job, we don't get any from them. So, which is great. But from a fire perspective or anything, load qualities, because, how we can educate people, call to recycle for recycling batteries or however they do, so that they don't put them in the MRF or the recycle bin or anything like that. So, because the damages from each one of these fires total out about half a million for each event. So,
Interesting you say that, because when I was at the facility, they had a fire just recently, and it was Shannon Collins' husband who had responded to it.
oh, is that right?
Yeah, he works for Twin.
Yeah, and that's the reason I just asked,
Yeah.
because it's just about, like my wife's like, why are you throwing in the recycle? I'm like, yeah, why are you throwing it in the landfill? I said, look, if it goes into recycle, it'll cause a fire.
Yeah, yeah.
I said, it may seem counterintuitive that I'm throwing it, wrapped in coffee and, making almost like a paste of it to throw it into.
Yeah, when I was up there for the tour that I was up there at, they had mentioned that most of the quality control inspections they use for cities where they are picking up with their own trucks was mostly with a video screen that the drivers are kind of watching what's coming out of out of the trucks as they're dumping it into the back. They did have a table set up there that they use more for like haulers that outside haulers that are bringing material to them, that they occasionally set up a audit table where they go through one of the loads that gets brought in and seeing if it's mostly recyclable materials they're getting, if they have contamination of trash, if they have dangerous materials like lithium batteries, that kind of thing. But I will reach out to Vince Crawford and see if he has any specific data for Twinsburg. I don't
Yeah,
know.
just, or anything, just to like get a idea of it, because we still, at our facilities, we still have, 2
I'd say.
to 3 fires, a month.
That
So
might be something you want to put in, we have access to the sewer bill, and you can put a flyer in any, of course, it has to be approved by the city, but if you feel that strongly about it, and that's something I think is extremely, people need information about that, to make up a flyer by your commission, and it can be slipped in with the sewer bill, so everybody kind of gets their eyes on it. If
Yeah, and who to call, because, even my wife's like, well, why are you doing this? And it just clicked to me, like, I didn't even, I just did it because that's what you're supposed to do. And you were like, well, she's asking me, then how many people, so.
I'm a little confused. So are we supposed to throw them in the trash or save them for Summit e-waste or what? What are we supposed to
Summit
do with
e-waste.
lithium batteries?
Yeah, Summit
See,
e-waste.
Summit E-Waste, what I did was made almost like encapsulated it to throw it away.
I see. Well, maybe we could have some kind of bins set around the city or something.
There's one at Liberty Park.
Oh, is there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Summit
Maybe we
e-waste,
need
I
to
believe,
publicize,
at Liberty
yeah.
Park,
Yes.
yeah.
I personally, I didn't know what to do with this. I know in airports, they cause problems on planes, but I mean,
No,
I don't-
it's
a lot of us don't know about the hazards of them as much as we should.
Yeah, and that's the biggest problem, is that, people want to, and that, because it just keeps getting worse and worse. It's
Yes.
like, you just,
You brought that to our attention.
yeah,
Okay.
thank you.
Right.
also, someone thrown in an Afghan and it shut down production for an hour.
Wow.
What?
Someone threw an Afghan in the recycle, and it went through, and it got caught in
Oh,
the
my gosh.
machines, and it stopped their whole process for
Oh, my
an
God.
hour.
You mean like a knitted Afghan, crocheted
It
knitted
was
thing?
more of a sewn Afghan.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
It got by someone, huh?
Yeah, by someone, and the first, as you saw, as you see, one of the first processes is there's about 5 or 6 guys hand
Pulling
picking
stuff in,
stuff, so, yeah, I didn't know if it was before that it got to that process, or,
Okay. All right. So I will make sure I send out to everybody that proposal that I had discussed last year, so we all have it, because I know we've had some new members since then. By next meeting, we'll come prepared to discuss short-term, long-term SMART goals. If you have a chance, look at, on the city's webpage, our environmental commission, subpage. See what you think of it. What would you like to change? Perhaps look at the Jedi commissions. I really think the Jedi Commission has a very nice, fresh subpage on the city's webpage. And so we could come next meeting for discussion over all of that. And it's going to be a very productive meeting next month, and I'm very excited for that. We have no absent members to excuse. Our next meeting date is October 1st, 2024 at 7 p.m. This says October 10th, but I checked. It is October 1st, 2024 at 7 p.m. here in City Council chambers. And so I wanted to make sure I
I was
clarified
kind of
that.
wondering, October 10th, I'm like, that's pretty late, man.
That would have been a Thursday, and I checked the city's calendar. We are here October 1st, 2024 at 7 p.m. in City Council chambers.
I was happy that was the 10th, because the 1st is my granddaughter's 12th birthday.
Oh, darn.
So close.
Close.
Before we move to adjourn, is there any final miscellaneous items? All right, with that, I move that we adjourn this meeting at 7:44.
Second.
Seconded by Sue. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please say nay. We are adjourned at 7:44.